Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Tactic Hive Beta Cup. Finally, we got some games to play. As I'm sure some of you are probably aware, we were having some major issues this week, primarily in the fact that one of the teams dropped out in the first day of the tournament, and I ended up, first day of the tournament, team dropped out, and so the groups for the rest of the week were just completely screwed. I only had one game to cast every night, and then 2 of those nights were no-shows, so I ended up with no content all week, and a lot of people got forfeit wins. Like, in my group, I think, like, the team that moves on is just going to be the team who showed up to the most games, because it was just absurd. So, anyways, it's been a bit of a shit show, but we do finally have games today. What is this? Come on, mouse. Oh, there we go. Okay, so some awkward connection issues here. I hope this doesn't continue. But, yeah. Like I said, had some issues, but we'll see. See how things go here. Hopefully heading into the weekend we'll have a lot better, we'll have a lot more content, because this weekend is all of the semis and the finals. So the teams that are there want to be there, and we're going to have we're going to have a lot of games going in the course of a day, so it will be awesome. Updating the social media here. I got my stream up pretty recently, so things were kind of, I'm kind of a little bit disorganized here. I really hope this game connects. What's going on here? Come on. You can do it, big boy. Sweet. Okay, so we're back in the lobby here. What the fuck? Okay. We all bounced. Alright, so seems like everybody's ready, so we'll probably just kick it off again and get it started in a moment here. Alright, so we're going in again, back on the loading screen, giving it another shot. Hopefully something comes of it. Hopefully, let's do it. Alright, so actually, failed to mention here, this game is between Comeback City and Fear No Foes. Now, Comeback City is the returning champions from the Tactic Hive Alpha Cup. They were the first team to win a Tactic Hive tournament, and did so in a pretty convincing fashion. I casted that last tournament, and it was a really great time. And Comeback City played a hard-fought battle, but they ended up coming through and taking the victory in the end. So, damn, props to them. They're coming back. They're going to try to make this one happen, and I'm really excited to see how it works out for them. So, we are finally in the game here. Things are underway, and here we go. So, getting into game. We got Comeback City and Fear No Foe. Now, while we're still waiting for the first couple picks and bans to come out here, I want to throw a shout out to both our sponsor, GameVox. They're an awesome game communication service, kind of like Skype or Ventrilo. Well, like, Skype's not really game communication service, but like Ventrilo, TeamSpeak, that sort of thing. GameVox, brand new, and they're really, really good. So definitely go check them out. Go to their website, GameVox.com. And, give them some love. Give them some love. They're sponsoring esports, and big thank you to Tact Hive. They are the organization that put together this tournament. They're a group of guys who just really love Dota, and they've organized a couple tournaments. They're trying to gather some sponsors and get productions going on and stuff. So, really helping out the amateur scene and putting together a lot of content. So, fantastic organization over there. I know a lot of the guys. They're absolutely great. So show them some love. Check out tactichive.com. And, sign up for any future tournaments, because I think the plan is that all tournaments will be free. Don't quote me on that, because I don't know the internal workings. I'm not part of the organization. But, I think that's what they're aiming for, as their first 2 tournaments have been completely free and have had very nice prize pools. So check it out for sure. Now, getting into the draft here, we've actually got some stuff to talk about here. So the Invoker, the Bat Rider, the Viper, and the Death Prophet all banned out. All pretty nasty mid laners, in fact. And there's a lot of scary offlaners that are still in the pool. We've still got the Bristleback, we've still got the Timbersaw, and we've still got... Who's the other one? I feel like I'm missing another one. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. I'm on crack. Anyways, Ember Spirit and Ancient Apparition, the first 2 pickups. So Comeback City really favoring that Ember, that high damage, really safe carry. I'm curious to see if they're going to be playing him on the mid or on the off lane role, or on the safe lane role rather. He's very versatile, can do either really well. So we'll see what they choose to go for here. The Ancient Apparition pick up for Fear No Foe, so we'll see how they choose to play that out. It's just a really strong hero in general, but usually you want to combo him with something, with a team that can make his abilities, really work. A team that can do a lot of damage and a team that has a lot of control. Because control is really what it takes to get those Cold Feet procs off, as well as the fact that, he just has so much damage in his kit. Now, Nature's Prophet snatched up by Fear No Foe, so it looks already like they're going for a bit of a global strategy, and the Invoker was banned out already, so that is not something they have to worry about. But Comeback City might be looking to ban out something like a Zeus here, maybe even like a who else would I be thinking of? Global strats, man. Maybe an IO even. They could go Wisp Tiny with this and be really, really nasty. I don't know if they're going to, but we'll see. The Weaver was the ban out there, so they're getting rid of that, and I think that's just more of a comfort ban, making sure that they can get rid of something that they just plain don't want to play against. So we'll see what Fear No Foe bans out here. And, they don't really have a really good read on their opponents at this point. Ember Spirit, Nyx Assassin. Ember can serve a couple different roles, and so can Nyx. And seeing as neither of them are, particularly combo heavy, you don't pick an Ember and a Nyx. It's not like, oh, that's an awesome combo. They're just good heroes in general. So, not quite telling of any strategy here. So, Fear No Foe just bans out a couple strong supports that go well with that Nyx Assassin, and I don't blame them whatsoever. They get rid of that Crystal Maiden and the Venomancer, so those are gone. And the Lycan was the ban out for Comeback City. So, fearing that push, fearing that Lycan Nature's Prophet combo, they're going to get rid of that, and I don't blame them. That is gives me shivers, man. Lycan Nature's Prophet can be really, really nasty at times, especially when you get the Howl going on the Treants, and you can do level 1 Roche. You've got so much stuff at your disposal, it's just ridiculous. Now, this is kind of an interesting pick on Razor. Now, Razor's... I don't know why they picked Razor. He's got good push potential if he can get an Aghanims up, but he doesn't operate very well against Ember Spirit, purely on the fact that Ember is really, really mobile and has a lot of magic damage in his kit aside from his basic auto attacks. So, when you sap away all of his damage, the chances of him actually dying are pretty damn slim, because if he's post-level 6, he'll just use his remnants and jump away. If he's pre-level 6, he'll just pop on his shield and bola you, and you end up either taking too much damage that you pursue, and he kind of just walks away while burning you down. And I don't know. I don't like that matchup. And Comeback City is obviously not going to draft something like a Juggernaut or a Nyx or something along these lines later. So Razor, not sure if he has a purpose. He'll probably be... I think he's actually going to be going towards the mid lane. Generally, when you run Razor on that one position, you pick him up to counter an enemy carry who benefits really well from raw damage in close proximity, something like a Nyx or a Juggernaut. Now, instead, this early Razor pickup tells me that he's going to be going mid, and he's going to be going for a push build, because that's kind of what Fear No Foe is going for right now. They've got a lot of global presence, but they've also got quite a good amount of push. Now, Ancient Apparition, he doesn't have a lot of push himself, but he has a lot of anti-push, and that he can keep lanes pushed with his ultimate. So, he's really good for that, as well as Nature's Prophet, obviously, is just like the push master. And so I think the premise here is that Fear No Foe is just kind of going to try to get up in Comeback City's face, get a bunch of Treants on a tower, start knocking down towers, and chipping away at him with Razor's ultimate. And then if a fight comes out, they can drop all of their really high damage abilities, like the Plasma Field, like the Ice Blast, like the Serpent Wars would be down to push, but you'll have like the Ether Shock, the Shackles, and whatnot from that Shadow Shaman pickup there. So Comeback City, they've got themselves a Visage and a Nyx, so that's a really, really nasty support combo. They can make ganks happen all over the map, and they're going to be really useful in lane. So we'll see how they play that out.
10 seconds remaining.
10 seconds remaining in the picks here for Comeback City before they start dipping into their reserve time. We'll see what they choose to go for here. I think,
Reserve time.
yeah, like I said, I think that Ember Spirit is going to be played on the mid-roll, but he could go down to a 1 position if needed. Generally, you don't pick your 1 position hero first, and so I think... Actually, I don't know. Ember's kind of an exception because he's really, really strong. But, yeah, I'm curious. There's nothing that this draft is really screaming to me right now. Like, it's not like, oh, I think they're gonna do this. It's like, it's not. It's kind of just open-ended. So I think they're just gonna be looking for a good hero in general. They do lack quite a bit of control right now. All they really have is the Impale and the Shackles from the Ember Spirit. So I think they might want to look towards. Ooh, okay, so.
Radiant team pick.
Huh. Offlane Nyx, I think. Offlane Nyx is the idea here. So, yeah, definitely don't mind. I'm really not a fan of offlane Nyx, and I've explained this before, but basically when you put Nyx in the offlane, he doesn't really do anything. He just kind of stands there, and he has no mechanism to secure himself any farm, or even any position in the land. Like, a bounty hunter or something, he can stealth up and get experience, even if he can't get last hits. A clockwork or something. He's got rocket flares to steal some last hits from a distance. He's got cogs to keep him extra safe. And, Marana, she's got leap, and she's got, like, a long-ranged arrow, so she can kind of make sneaky plays. But there's not much that you get out of a Nyx in the offlane. He's found out really easily, and even if he pops off Spike Carapace from getting jumped on, all he does is skitter away, and, he kind of just doesn't do anything. It's really, really easy to deny him a lot of XP and gold. I mean, I've seen many, many games where the tri-lane carry is a higher level than the offlane Nyx assassin. So I'm really not a fan of the offlane Nyx, but it does seem like that's what it's going to be here. Now, the last 2 bans out were a Lone Druid and a Luna, so getting rid of a offlaner for Comeback City and thinking that,
10 seconds remaining.
I'm not sure. Actually, yeah, Druid might have been drafted here. Fear No Foe really looking for that strong push potential. And I could actually see them grabbing an Enigma right now. They've got a lot of AoE damage, and it would really make their team fights happen. Plus, they'd have Eidolons to push with. So, I don't know. We'll see.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
5 seconds remaining, and that is their total time. They don't have any reserve time left, and with 1 second left, they snatch themselves a Jug. So I like the Jug, especially in push compositions, because he contributes to kind of what I was talking about earlier with their draft, is that, these aren't guys that you just... The traditional hard push lineup where you'd go, like, Leshrac, Death Prophet, Pugna, are aimed at bursting down the tower from a range and just kind of keeping the enemy out of your face. And, not really committing to an engagement, but just knocking down tower after tower after tower. Now, this lineup is a little different in the fact that it can and does fight really, really well. If Comeback City sees them pushing and tries to initiate on them, they've got a full front line of Treants to go through, possibly Serpent Wards, then they've got all the control of Shadow Shaman, they've got the Ice Blast, plus, everything else. Omni Slash, Blade Fury. There's so much damage and such a tight AoE on Fear No Foe that they could get up there and they can start pushing towers, and Comeback City's going to have to be really, 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 really careful about how they approach it, or else they could get caught out. Now, this Magnus pickup will help them secure that initiation power, though, so I feel they do have a good chance of making these engagements happen in their favor. If you get an RP into an Impale, into an Ember Spear with a Battle Fury chopping people up, you can dish out a ton of damage. So I think this Magnus pick is going to serve them really well, but it really will be on their execution, because I feel that Fear No Foe has the ability to just kind of continually push, and especially with the healing wards on the Juggernaut, I don't think they are going to stop. So, that said, let's run over our lineups here and get things going. So, Juggernaut is going to be played by FK. Down in that bottom lane, we're going to have Fade Tokyo Ravens, I don't know, playing on the Ancient Apparition. Out's going to be playing on the Shadow Shaman. Over up in mid lane, we got 4am playing on the Razor, and up on top, we've got Box 154 playing on that offlane Nature's Prophet. On the opposing side, we have Keel playing up on that Ember Spirit. We've got Totem Scrotum, which is actually Comeback City's previous name that they went under in the Tactic Hive Alpha Cup. They called themselves Totem Scrotum. So Totem Scrotum going to be playing the Visage. We've got N-Pack playing that Vengeful mid lane. You've got Nam, number 2, playing the Magnus, and in the offlane, 168, going to play that offlane Nyx. So he has been pulled a couple tangos and poor man's shield. However, I don't feel this is very safe. Like, I mean, like I said, Nyx gets zoned out really, really hard. And, you know, only having 2 tangos is not going to contribute much to that. So we'll see how it plays out. But, yeah. There is a offlane ward dropped here. I'm not sure if the the AA saw it. Is he going to drop a sentry? Ooh. Looked like he was just going to drop a random sentry, see what happens. Not going to approach too far. Got that nice Dagon cosmetic. I love that, man. It's so cool. But, anyways, mid lane I think is going to be a pretty interesting matchup here. The Magnus versus the Razor, I think it can go either way. If Razor tries to get a little bit too much up in Magnus's grill, he can skewer him back into the tower, do a lot of damage, and you know, a lot of Magnus's damage is based on his you know, his skewer and his shockwave, not so much on his auto attack. So the Razor static link will not do too much for him. You know, and see this happening here. I mean, he's going to drain some of his damage, and the Magnus is forced to walk away because he wants to be able to last hit at some point. But I mean, overall, in like the 1v1 engagements, it won't matter too much. And even there, he still gets a last hit with, you know, 30 freaking last, or 30 shite. There we go. Sorry guys, I forgot to change the overlay. I keep my Twitch tab and that shows 2 minutes, so I would know that way. Yeah. Yeah. Look into that Nyx, but Nyx he can handle. You can kind of see every time H moves up, he moves back a little, and you know, A moves up here, he moves back here. He's really smart, and he's getting whatever XP he can out of it. But I think if A was a little bit more aggressive and just jumping on him and just throwing out the auto attacks and harassing him up, he could keep Nyx out of his lane completely. Nyx has already got 2 last hits, which is something I don't think any offlane Nyx should have. Yeah, we see the Ancient Apparition moving up right now and starting to deny up creeps and just kind of get into them. Nature's Prophet's going to find himself an Invis rune. Not going to mean too much, though. Just going to walk up here and probably break that in a second. Yeah, just grab himself a last hit. So, looking towards the CS, we've got Juggernaut and the Ember Spirit sitting pretty even right at the top of those charts, so pretty much what you'd expect. In the mid lane, trades are pretty even. The Magnus is a little bit farther behind, but once again, that's to be expected. And then everything else across the board is pretty even. The offlaners both have 4, and then the supports are just doing their own stacking and pulling business. So, pretty even game right now. We'll see how it plays out as things move forward, though. Razor is looking for action, and the Magnus, oh man, he was looking to see if he could hook up in behind and then just shoot the skewer backwards, but he just couldn't quite get the positioning and ended up taking a pretty big loss to his damage there. 42 damage sapped away, and so he's going to kind of roam around in the trees, pop off those bottle charges. No, whoa, alright, there we go. Shadow Shaman looking for action. Oh man, is this... Look at that. Look at that. That is so close to detecting that ward. Looks like Razor's just going to be doing some bottle curling here as he's not entirely confident. Razor fares a little bit better dominating that mid lane matchup. He doesn't gank very well. I mean, he has damage, but I mean, he needs the supports to control it. So there's going to be a DD rune bottom. I think Magnus knows it's there because they have the rune upwarded. He did actually send his bottle back, but he's having the courier bring it to him now. So yeah, there you go. So he just secures it for himself, grabs a DD rune, and we'll head back towards mid lane. Now we do have a smoke gank coming up, and that'll happen as soon as Mag gets back to the lane. I'm pretty sure Rizzo's something missed though because he's not far up. He does get a little further up now, and the plasma field goes out. And the second he sees that Venge, he walks back down away. Now I think the smoke actually wore out because Venge was only right here when he started walking down the river, which is pretty abnormal behavior if you didn't see him. But anyways, this bottom lane, you need to control this better because I mean, Nyx is a hero that you can really shut down if the wave is anywhere behind here. You know, up in this area, you can just keep him zoned all the way back to his tower, and he can actually be out of XP range. But if you're not controlling your lane well, if you're not getting as many denies and stacks off, then you're going to be in some trouble. Magnus dropping a little low there. He pops off that DD, and he's really going to need it. And don't know if we'll have it in time. Oh man, that plasma field doing so much damage. Now Razor's build looks like he's favored to get a point in plasma field and in static link. Generally, if you're up against a hero that you really trash with static links, something like a lifestealer, you would go for the otherwise you go a little bit more towards the plasma field. So playing it out exactly how you would expect. Nick's getting himself a little brave. He's walking up a little bit further, trying to see what he can find out here. He does level 6, but he does have Impale. Now he throws out that Impale to steal 1 creep, and I mean, at this point it's almost worth it. There's not much that he's going to be doing with his mana otherwise. Ancient Apparition is going to find himself an illusion down here, and I think he's going to try to he's going to try to save it for the Razor, who is now approaching there, popping off his last bottle charge. So Magnus forced a bottle yet again. Wait, did he? What? Did his bottle never make it back to base? He should be full health if he just got his bottle crow back. What? What? It's crazy. Alright, Razor looking for trouble. Just does a chunk of damage, steals 40, and will make his way back to his tower. So he loses the last hit there, but yeah. Not a big deal.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
On top, Ember Spirit pushing this wave up a little bit too far past the tower there, and ends up taking some tower hits on his way up. He'd be fine, managing to get himself a handle last. Now is a safe. You know, Ember is really too. It's really easy to mess with a Prophet in the lane. Just if a Prophet's ever split pushing, or trap or like a teleport to wherever the Prophet is, the entire wave with a single Slate of Fist. Maybe even chase down and kill the Prophet, and then just jump back to your Remnant and continue the fight. So he's really good with dealing with that split push and that harassment that the Prophet does dish out in the late game. I mean, Prophet almost becomes irrelevant when there's a Storm Spirit or when there's an Ember Spirit in the game. So something to think about as we continue forward. Right now, it won't make too much of a difference because there's no Battle Fury on the Ember Spirit, and Prophet is not going to be much of a rat quite yet. Now, Razor finding himself caught out in the river here. He's going to run into the Visage, get Grave Shield up, and he's slowed down right now. The Magic Missile to fly, it's going to hit, catches out the Razor, and Magnus almost drops his life as he takes a little bit too much damage from Razor's ultimate, but he does manage to make it out of that okay. Will run right into an Ancient Apparition, but can't do much there. And Magnus is going to walk himself away from that without with very many scratches, but without a death. That's the big part there. So Razor first blood, and Comeback City looking good right now. Yeah, Arcane Boots picked up on the Magnus as well, so he's going to have those available to him, and he's going to send the bottle back on the Courier once again. Nyx is here in mid, still not level 6. I think he's just looking to sap up some EXP so that he can hit 6, and will in a second here. Wave gets dropped a little bit too low, and Razor's able to deny 3 of the 4 creeps, so a bit of a misplay, I guess you could call it. Whatever. Top, ooh. Prophet gets caught out. Looks like that was just a shackle into a Magic Missile, and that's it. And Ember Spirit gonna pop back to base, gonna heal up, get himself some mana, buy himself a Ring of Aquila, and then he's just gonna jump right back to that Remnant in a second here. Beautiful. Oh man. Oh man. There's some kills everywhere.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Razor gets picked off. Picked off. Nyx hits 6, and that's it. You got to kill. So I guess that's the way she goes. But Comeback City looking off to a strong start. Fear No Foes is might be trembling in their boots a little bit right now. We'll see.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Mid here. Razor TP's back in, just gonna clear out this wave. What's Nyx doing? Kind of just wandering around aimlessly, looking for something to do. He just spot out a double damage rune. I think the Mag's gonna go grab that for himself. So double damage up on the Magnus, and you can guarantee they're gonna be looking for kills soon. That Vendetta up, and I mean there is no There is no RP yet, but I mean, a skewer into Shockwave with any other hero around and a double damage is pretty much a kill. So we'll see if that's how it plays out. But what the hell? Where's my camera going? There we go. So looking towards the last hits once again, Juggernaut is really, really well off in last hits right now. He's sitting at 72 and 22, about 14 ahead of the Ember Spirit. So actually doing fairly well. The Ember Spirit does have a kill under his belt though, and actually he has an assist. So a little bit of extra gold, but I don't think it quite equates to the creep difference here. So right now I don't think this is too big a deal. Oh man. Missing kills all over the place. Anyways, yeah, pressure on this top tier 1, and I think this tower is actually going to go down. Yeah, Fear No Foe is going to try to do what they can to trade some damage for the tier 1 bottom, but I don't think it's actually going to take anything. I mean, there's a creep wave there, but there's TPs coming in already. Ember's there to defend it. And that'll be it, and they do get the shackles out on the Juggernaut. He's forced to use his Blade Fury to try to get away from this, but I don't know if he's actually going to escape. He does pop off the drums, going really fast, and yeah, no way to catch up to him quite there. It was close, that was close. There could have been a lot of trouble for him, but he does get himself out. A little bit of damage onto the tower, but like I said, it's definitely not a trade. Magnus pops off his double damage rune, and he's going to find an illusion up top, so see what he does with it. Ember. Looking for action. Looking for action. I think he's going to try to go on mid, but we'll see where he goes in a moment. He does walk right by a Radiant Ward, so they know where he is and they know what these guys are doing. And I mean, as you can see, their positioning reflects that with the Razor really far back behind their tier 2.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, though, this Juggernaut, man, he's going to get really, really scary. He's on track to get a 20-minute Aghanims, maybe even quicker. Ice Blast lands on 3, and the Shackles do land on the Razor, but, oh, there it goes. We got a Shackle out onto the Visage, and a lot of damage going out. Cancelled RP 3 times and then used it on creeps! Oh, man. An Allied Denial, I think, was had there. I thought I saw a Denial. Maybe not. But, oh, jeez. 3 for 2 engagement there. Comeback City drops 3 heroes in exchange for the Razor and the Shadow Shaman. That Magnus play was a little bit odd. He jumped up here and kind of canceled his RP 3 times, and then it just completely missed. And he made a comment here about how long that TP is. And I think he was waiting for the hero to teleport in, and because of how many TPs came in there, he had to... Oof. Oh, what? Where did Visage die? Oh, what? How did I miss that? I was looking right at it. It must have been like a point off. Anyways, Juggernaut's going to run away. He's got that Blade Fury going up, but who knows? They might be able to catch him. The Ember Spirit is pursuing this. I don't know if it's the smartest idea, though. Yeah, he does back up after getting pinged back. Will run back to his lane. I find this to be a really questionable build here. He's gone for a max Sleight of Fist build, and Sleight of Fist I don't think is that great for leveling up. You get so much more damage out of these spells. I mean, damage per second on the shield. You get 30 damage per second at 8 seconds. Now, I don't know what the math is on that, but it's a little bit more than 120. I don't know, questionable. Anyways, Nyx, with that Vendetta up, looking for that courier, but it gets juked around the trees, and Nyx's position is revealed, so not the greatest play there. She played a little bit more passive, but whatever. We got CC grouping up here on the mid lane, looking to want to push in on this tier 1, and they're looking for it. The tower's at about half health, and they got room to push. Come down the bottom to defend this up, and the Ice Blast is coming into mid. Does hit on 4, but doesn't matter. Tier 1 is taken, and they're trying to trade for the Tier 1 bottom, but is there a Fortify? There's no Fortify, but there are TPs, and are we going to see a Denial? Yes, the Venge denies the tower, so the only tower to drop on the side of Comeback City has been a Denial, and Fear No Foe has dropped 2 towers so far, neither of which they even contested, so I think this Juggernaut's position and his farm is actually going to serve them fairly well. However, the gold advantage that is coming from these towers and the ability that CC has to start making these fights happen a little bit earlier on is really going to make a difference. Now Juggernaut finds himself a innocent target and jumps forward with that Omni Slash, gets a kill on the Vengeful Spirit, and comes a little bit closer to evening up that kill score at 5-6 now. Now they're going in hard, and the Ancient Apparition finds himself up way too far. He gets picked off. Razor's on the back line. He's got his ultimate popped off, chasing down on that visit, but we see an RP out on 2. They're looking for more. The Juggernaut is running away, but he gets shackled up. He's going to drop 3 for nothing so far, and now Razor might get himself caught out as well. They're trying to chase him down. He's a pretty fast hero, and he's decently tanky because he's building towards the mech. We'll see if he does manage to get out of this. He does find an illusion room, pops it off, runs back towards the enemy team, and they're a little bit scared, but after a couple spells fly out, the Razor will fall. So that was a 4 for nothing engagement, I believe. I think the Visage did get out of that. He did indeed. So, oh, unless this Ice Blast. Oh, man. Catches 2, actually. No. Wait, how did... Oh, Magnus was killed. Oh, it must have been creeps. Okay, so Magnus and Visage both dropped there, so that kind of evens up the team fight a little bit, but there's still no XP going the way of Fear No Foe, and I mean it's still not an even kill trade. So I guess that's the way she goes, man. Top lane, Prophet pushing in just a little bit, looking to. We're going to try to slowly chip away at this tower. It's pretty close to half health there, and it'll be gone eventually, one day. Juggernaut. Curious what he's going for. Is he just going straight up like Sanji Yasha or something? I would have figured he'd go Aghanims, but maybe not. Engagement coming out here. Good blink skewer and brings the Razor right back into the tower range, and they're focusing on him, dropping him really low, but the Serpent Wards go down, dishing out a lot of damage, and the Ace Blast hits on 3. Now this tower taking a huge chunk of damage and just going to fall. And the, oh man, the Omni Slash goes out, finishes off that Vengeful. She falls victim to it yet again, and this is what I was talking about during the draft, is that, I mean, Fear No Foe, gets the Ember Spirit getting caught out. They are going to finish him off. Good RP on 4. Oh my god, are they going to be able to clean this up? Almost. They drop the Shadow Shaman really low. What an impale! Catches 4, and they wipe them. Fear No 4 loses 4 heals, and the Nature's Prophet teleports out. What a RP. Oh my god. RP into impale, into everything. That was beautiful. And redeem themselves to that poor last fight. They do manage to bring it back. Kill score now, 9-14 in favor of Comeback City, and they've got momentum now. Now, what I was talking about was exactly what happened to this Tier 1 tower here was that, I mean, Fear No Foe, they've got a team that can push really hard. I mean, they got the Treants up around the tower, and when the action broke out, they dropped Serpent Wards over here, and, you know, there was this huge front line of shit that CC had to get through, and just ended up allowing them to just make the pickoffs. They got the Blade Fury over here, and their overextension a little bit was what cost them, and that fantastic RP was what really turned that around. But, I mean, don't get me wrong, they still have the ability to make this fight happen. Now, the Ember Spirit does also have the potential late game for that Empower, which we see there. And Empower on Ember is just fantastic. It's another free Battle Fury, pretty much. So, I mean, if he does end up going the Battle Fury route in a moment after he finishes up his drums, we could very well see those cleaves getting really, really huge really early on. The Mechanism is up and finished by Visage, so he's ready to start healing people up. We got a Blink Dagger on the Nyx Assassin, which is something I didn't think I'd see him getting this. Well, not this game in general, but this quickly. He is 6-0-3 though, so he's doing himself really well, and we'll have that Blink Initiation to help out with that Magnus, who should be leading the charge every single time, anyways. You got Smoke Ink up into the dire jungle here, and the Juggernaut, the Ancient Apparition, and the Shadow Shaman, and they're looking for it. They might find this Ember Spirit, who is walking up this cliff right now. He's going to walk right into them. Oh my god, turned into a chicken immediately, and just getting blown up. There he goes. Ember Spirit drops, and that was a great Smoke Ink, dropping a couple aggressive wards, getting a kill, and now they have pressure up onto the top lane. You see them drawn out on the minimap here that they want to go for it, and the Prophet will TP in just a moment. The top lane, Nyx is vendetted up. He's looking for, we're going to see if he can get a pick off somewhere up here. Hopefully. Maybe. We'll see. Vendetta does wear off. He still has the Blink Dagger to initiate, though, if he wants it. There are 2 Sentry Wards placed here. Double the coverage, just in case this one is not good enough. I don't know. 2 wards, and looks like Fear No Foe really wants to make this fight happen. They've got the Chilling Touch up on 4 heroes. They're starting to hook around the side of the tree here, and there it goes. Blade Fury up, or Omni Slash up. Now Blade Fury going down, looking for that Magus. Want to finish him off before he can get the RP out, but he is wasting a lot of their time ducking through these trees. The Juggernaut's chasing really far, and the Ember Spirit is starting to clean things up. Got himself 2 kills so far, the Ancient Apparition and the Shadow Shaman. Now the Razor falls, and actually, sorry, I'm reading from the wrong team, but yeah. Oh, no, I'm not. I wasn't reading from the wrong team. I was right. I was right, and then I was wrong. But yeah, 4 heroes going down for Fear No Foe, and they invested a lot into that Magnus, and they just didn't get him. They initiated on him here, and that Ghost Scepter with such a clutch pickup saved him from that Juggernaut ulti, and he ran up into the trees, and they chased him, and they skewered over here, and then just like walked back out, and he did end up falling in the end of it, but I mean, it just created so much room that they went on him as opposed to anybody else. That Ember Spirit got to cause a lot of havoc and got himself a huge amount of kills there. 8, 3, and 7 now is that Ember, and things are looking pretty crazy for him. He can pick up that Perseverance now if he wants to, and from there he's about 1,000 gold away from picking up a full Battle Fury, which does seem to be like what he's going to go for. I mean, that could still be a Shadow Blade, but that is very much a less popular build on Ember Spirit nowadays. Farming up down on the bottom lane. Pops off that Ghost Scepter for absolutely no reason. He's going to blink himself away to safety. Razor, what's he going for right here? He's got himself a Vitality Booster. Maybe a Heart? We can also see a Rod of Atos. That's been a pretty popular pickup amongst Razors lately. You'll throw out that Atos and slow somebody down, and then you've just got, you know, infinite damage leak out on them. Now, notable pickup, the Nature's Prophet just picked up his Necro 2 and 3 at the exact same time, so he's going to have pushing power out the wazoo, ready to go whenever he wants it. The Spirit's farming up the wave here. That maxed Slate of Fist. Oh, Vanguard. Vanguard on the Razor. Okay. I don't know why I didn't click that would have been a Vanguard. It just... Nobody buys Vanguard anymore. No one. Nyx a little far up. See if he manages to make some of this. He was looking for the Ancient Apparition, but now that he knows that there's a couple people nearby, I think he's going to have to back away from this. Yeah, he just waddles himself away. Juggernaut picks up his Aghanim, so I hadn't been paying attention to his item build, but it seems like after the Asha went out, he instead just transitioned directly to an Aghanims instead of going for anything else. Death. Vengeful Spirit gets picked off by the Nature's Prophet, and it looks like that was just a matter of the Necro creeps, as the Prophet was nowhere near that, but... that would have been really unfortunate. Anyways, Prophet is going to TP up to top in a second and help out his team here. Yeah, you can see him cancel the TP a couple times, but... well, he's TPing into Roche. Alright, he's going to do Roche while his team distracts up top. They do get the tower. And Visage actually manages to pick off a kill on the Shadow Shaman using those birds, but meanwhile, Prophet is doing Roche, and this fight is continuing. Now, the Nyx blinks forward, gets a good impale out, and they're dishing out a lot of damage to that Razor, but he's really tanky. Oh my god, 3-man RP! He's looking for it. Shockwave goes down. No Skewer quite yet. Skewers forward to dish out a little bit more damage, and the Razor does fall. Now chasing out for that Juggernaut, but he's going to Blade Fury teleport. They're not going to... oh my god, they get to swap with the Vengeful Spirit. Now chasing him down. They are going to finish off the Jug. Oh man, that was huge, that was huge, that was huge. Yeah, he did die on the way out too to the Nyx, so Prophet actually unable to do Roche. I think he thought he could, but just wasn't the case. Didn't have the trees and or the Necro Creeps, and had to back away. So losing pretty much every single hero on their team, except for the Prophet, who of course did not complete his objective either. So top tier 1 gets dropped, and yeah, Comeback City looking strong. We're the victors of our first tournament here, so definitely a strong team. They are the team to beat here, so to speak. Shadow Shaman's got himself a Blink Dagger as well. You got that mobility, that initiation that they need, and not sure how he has time, but I know he died to Visage Birds. Don't get eaten alive by a lot of the auto-attacky damage that comes out of Fear No Foe. Looks like they really want to make a smoke gank happen down here. There is nobody there currently defending, so I think they might just hook into lane and take the tower instead. But that does leave them open to TPs and fortifies, though. Visage Bird's beating away on this tower now. Like I said, there is a fortify available whenever they want it. And Ember, meanwhile, just going to cut the lane up a little bit and get himself a few last hits there. Gets actually every single one in that lane, so doing well for himself. He's going to start chipping away at this tower, and I think it's going to go down unless we see some serious reaction. There is a fortify. Is there going to be a TP? Ice Blast is coming in. It's going to land, but no TPs, and they're just going to pull the tower. Does drop, Visage gets a kill, and nothing really of value gained on Fear No Foe's side. I mean, they could have been pushing a lot harder for the 2-2 mid. They could have been, you know, trying to defend that tier 1 bottom, but they didn't really gain anything out of that. And CC is going to be able to TP back and defend their tier 2 without taking a single additional hit to it. Nick standing right on top of the Sentry Ward. He's flirting with death here. They know where they are. Ember jumping forward. He does manage to get a shackle out on the Age Apparition, who turns around, throws the Ice Blast because he knows he's dead, and gets finished off there. So Visage picks up the kill with the birds, and that's it. Each Prophet TPs away from the top lane, while his Treants and Necro Creeps chip away at this tower, dishing out a good chunk of damage, dropping it down to about 350, so dealing a lot of damage. That tower will go down next time Prophet gets up there. Looks like Razor is either going to be going for a BKB or that Aghanim Scepter. I think it's probably going to be... Actually, I'm not even sure right now. Probably a Black King Bar. There is a lot of magic damage on the other side. However, I do think the Aghanims would assist in their pushing a little bit more. But the question is, can he stay alive to channel off his full ultimate? And that question remains unanswered. We will have to see. Prophet Sprouts moving forward with their creep waves, create a little bit of momentum, but the Magnus, of course, is there to shut that down. Now, we do see the Magnus going for that little bit of a late-game carry Magnus build, instead of going for the classic team fight Magnus, which is, you know, like Refresher and maybe like Veil at Discord or something like that. Instead, he goes for Arcane's Blink, Ghost Scepter into the Daedalus. He's got the Chrysalis right now, but eventually he will get that Daedalus, and those crits will help out his empowered self, dish out a ton of damage. Now the Empower goes out onto the Ember Spirit, who's now hitting for 250 damage with that Empower up, so he's hitting really damn hard, and they could really make a fight out of this if they wanted. But instead, they're going to go into Roche. Now, Ember Spirit did break his smoke on his way in there. I think he was the only person seen by this ward, but there should be knowledge that this is going down on the other side. And it looks like the Razor is coming for it, but I don't know if the rest of the team is. Yeah, they're not quite convinced. They pop off a smoke and go elsewhere. The Razor, meanwhile, is farming the jungle, so they don't have any clue about this Roche. They must have thought that Ember was going in there to pick up an item from the Secret Shop or something like that. They did pop off a smoke prematurely, so... I don't know, man. I don't know. It's dangerous stuff, but Roche will go down. Juggernaut, or Ember Spirit grabs the Aegis, rather. And, no. There's a double damage rune available. I'd actually like to see Nyx take that and just see what he can find. Because that Razor is right there. And is he going to get him? I think he might. Double damage Vendetta Strike is really, really strong. Now, up top, they're going to find out that Ember Spirit farming up the enemy jungle and actually farming up his own jungle, rather. And they do pop off that Aegis, so the reverse smoke gank does catch out what they need to catch. and nothing bad is going to come of it. So get themselves out, pop that Aegis, and playing field is somewhat even. Sleight of Fist looking to see if he can get something out. Gets Hex with a swap back on the Shadow Shaman. He's gonna get dead. He falls out, and Fear No Foe loses one as they back up towards their tier 2 tower to defend. Now let's take a look at some graphs here. The gold graph is actually almost even here. We're looking at about a 500 advantage in the favor of CC, and meanwhile EXP though down about 10k on the side of Comeback City. My apologies. Nick's still looking for action. He's not going to find anything though, as the entire team is together at mid. Ward's getting de-warded. Another Smoke Gang pops off. They're looking for action, and that's what they need. They need something to swing the momentum in their favor. You see a Mask of Madness picked up here by the Magnus, so he's got even more damage. Power Treads as well. So he's hitting pretty damn hard. He's got about 200 damage, and with the Empower, actually that is with the Empower, but he's got the Cleave on top of that, and then crits to come. So using that smoke for some aggressive warding, but I don't think they're going to find any kills. But, I mean, even so, that is completely fair to do. There's 2 sentries just sitting here scouting each other out, but now they're really doing anything about the situation. Ember Spirit has now gone for a Lincoln's. That's a bit of an odd pickup. Lincoln's is a great item, but I guess. Lets him get away from Shadow Shaman, I think, is the idea behind that. Yeah, because the only things that will pop the Lincolns are... I'm not sure how Omni Slash interacts with Lincolns. I think it breaks the first instant damage and then everything else after that is taken. Could be incorrect. Nick's still looking for kills, man. You're not going to find it. Just give up. He's going to run into a Juggernaut in a second here. Yeah, they're pinging out the Jug. They know he's doing the H's. Know he's heading back this way. And, good reactions there. Pops off that Blade Fury to escape the Impale. And we'll be alright.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
We got some pressure coming in on the top tier 2 here for the Radiance side. All 5 heroes on the Dire. 5 heroes from Comeback City are there and ready to go. And knocking at this tower, dishing out the damage that they can. And I think they got the ability to take this out. It looks like there is no interest in defending it from Fear No Foe. They're just going to back up and take the fight at their tier 3. But I don't know if Comeback City is really in the mood to fight at the tier 3. They're just going to back themselves away. They TP back to deal with the split push from the Nature's Prophet. And then from there, they're just going to first. No problems there. Now, Juggernaut. It's a bit of an odd pickup on Jug. I don't think I've ever seen that before, but I guess it makes sense. Defusel somebody and then just Blade Fury on top of them, and you got a lot of damage there. Ace Blast gonna fly. Catches out on some birds, who are of course not gonna take damage. Get resummoned anyways. Alright. That's farming up really well here. I'm a little concerned about his ability to carry later on against the Ember, though, because I mean, a lot of people refer to Ember as just a better Juggernaut, and while I don't entirely agree with that sentiment, they do kind of fill similar roles, and I believe the role of poking somebody down and jumping in with a handful of damage is more so Ember's role than Jug's, because it gets to a point where your auto attacks are basically an Omni Slash, and sometimes they can even be a better Omni Slash if you get crits. So I think there's definitely something to live up to there for Jug as he fights back. But Ember's sitting at looking in on the pressure on the tier 2. Creep Wave is going to get popped off and distracted, but there's still a fight to come. Oh my god, that RP catches 2! Not as much as I thought, but doesn't matter. Those two dropped right off the bat. Omni Slash came out, but it's not going to do anything. 3 heroes down on the Radiant side now, and trying to run away is the Juggernaut. He's going to make it out alive, but this Prophet is definitely not. He is caught out. Soul Assumption to fly, and he's going to get finished off. Jug tries to fight it back up, but he might pay for that with his life. They're chasing him down. He's got a handful of life, but he will escape that. So 4 heroes down for 1, and tier 2 going to fall as well. These Serpent Wards will probably get finished off in the next moment or two as well. So really, really great fights by Comeback City, and they've been making this game, and they're doing so well. As every single fight, they get a great initiation, and they all follow up, and it's just worked out so well for them. This is why they're the defending champions. For that Magnus, but he went top to farm instead of going back to base. 100 gold, he can buy whatever he wants. He's almost at just straight up heart money, but we'll see if that's the choice. He can also finish up a Daedalus. He could, I mean, God forbid he wants to get an F-Blade, but it's possible. Who knows, man? We'll see. We'll see. Buy up those travels. Where's he going, man? Where's he going? Secret Shop? And yeah, Demon Edge. So he will be finishing up that Daedalus first, and then he'll head towards something else. But he's still got 2,000 gold in the bank, so that's buyback money for now. And we'll see what item he comes up with next. The Visage does now have an Aghanim Scepter as well, so he's got 3 birds. Well, he can't have 3 birds. He's only got 2 right now, but can't have 3 birds going at all time. Got a bit of a pause out here. Not sure what the issue is, but we'll figure it out in a sec. About to pee his pants. Alrighty. Alrighty. Let's Razor God. So we did go for a BKB with that Ogre Club. BKB's, yeah, it's a great item in this match. I don't blame him for getting it, but at the same time, his damage is overall teamfight damage output is going to be reduced a little bit just because he chose to go for that and not something like the Aghanims, which, I mean, once again, I don't blame him for, but at the same time, it's kind of what his team needs. There are 2 Battle Furies up on the Ember Spirit now, and so with the Magnus and Power Up, he is going to be hitting ridiculously hard. What is this? 50% bonus damage and 50% bonus cleave. I'm not sure if that bonus damage is based off your base damage. I believe it would be, so 61 damage on top of his... what is that? 289? It's a lot of damage, man. It's a lot of damage. We'll likely see him moving towards crits now, as that is generally Ember Spirit build, but who knows? He kind of just threw that Lincolns in there, so it could be something completely different as well. There's Prophet jungling down in the enemy jungle. That is a dangerous proposition, my friend. As he walks forward, he's going to see that, oh, Juggernaut finds him. Wait, oh my god. What am I smoking? For some reason, I thought Nature's Prophet was on the dire side. I don't know what possessed me to think that. It just, I don't know, man. I don't know. Try to play this up. Anyways, Ember Spirit gonna run do an entire enemy team, and oh my god, he gets himself a kill right off the bat. Nyx finishes off the Ancient Apparition on the back line. Now he's gonna try to run away from this Jug, and with the stuns from the birds, he is gonna catch him out. Now the RP catches 2, and the Razor and the Juggernaut gonna fall. Nature's Prophet nowhere near that fight, but GG is being called by Fear No Foe after that fight. So just a huge team fight after huge team fight after huge team fight. And they do manage to take it. So Comeback City makes the game theirs and takes it in a very convincing fashion. So that was it. I'm going to try to jump into another lobby really quickly here because I believe I was supposed to be hosting a game in just a moment. So I will try to get that up for you guys, and I will be back in just a moment. Stay tuned with the Tactic Hive Beta Cup. I've been Cptn.Canuck. Cheers.